Right, it's 3:45 in the morning. I just kind of woke up and, like usual, and checked out everything. There's no condensation in the tent. There's no rain coming in, but my clothes are certainly still wet and damp. I didn't even bother touching my raincoat. My bag's still wet for sure. Got a rain cover on that still now, but what I wanted to show you guys is I had to make a little makeshift clothesline. So from my light hanger, I have my shirt and shorts, and then I tied my socks together, my bandana, and hooked them to my zippers. I don't expect it really to dry out, but maybe it gets a little drier. Still a lot damp. So I personally, it's my personal hell putting damp clothes on. I did it lifeguarding a lot. And, you know, usually by the time you get up in your chair, things are warm and dry again, but if this rain doesn't stop, it's just not supposed to. I might just stay in my tent all day tomorrow or today. I'm just kidding, but it's hard. It's gonna be hard to get up and get out for sure. The hiker's life for sure. Hiker's life for me. So 7:30, 7:45. Nothing really got dried out last night. The sun's sort of coming out, but I don't think we're gonna see a lot of it tonight or today, excuse me. This is where I stayed last night. Did help protect me from, I think, some of the rain. Anyways, I don't want to, my shoes are wet. I'm already wearing those. Didn't want to put wet socks on, wet shirt on, or wet coat on, or wet bag on. Everything's wet, but man, that sun would just stay out for a few. Alright, bad news first. Everything that I'm wearing is wet and damp. Both damp and wet. And I have no water. I'm out of water. Good news is my base layer and my sleeping bag are dry and warm. If I can just keep those things dry and warm, I think it can be alright for the next couple of days. My raincoat is absolutely wetted out, and that will take, it seems like forever to dry. My tent's pretty dry. I have to be able to drop that and dry that out at some point too, but that's the dry spot where my ground cover was, and even up underneath the kind of awning where my tent is was wet. There was some moisture underneath my sleeping pad. I don't know. It's supposed to rain all day today. Well, not all day today, but it's supposed to be on and off today throughout the next 3 days. So I don't know. This is the kind of thing that I think would make somebody miserable. Not miserable. I'm not comfortable, but not miserable either. So back on trail. We're just over there underneath that rhododendron. So I did a little stealth spot. I thought it was kind of best to be underneath that than out in the, maybe open like this. And there's a campsite up here on the left that people were camping at last night, but ended up taking off early this morning. Oh, more bad news. My phone won't charge. I don't know if it's because there's a little moisture in the port or what, but I hook it up to my battery pack and it's just 17 hours to charge, which is a fast port. It should be like 2. So I have to figure that out. That's the only real thing I have to use to navigate, like many others. So day whatever, time whatever, weather whatever. So just check your time. You know that I said it, time whatever, but it's 8:30. I remember last night that I was trying to make it to the next shelter, which is still like, I think it was 4 something, maybe even maybe less. Could be even 3, but I'm gonna try to get there and then see about getting some food in me and drying some stuff out. The sun still doesn't look like it's gonna come out today, so anticipate more rain. You didn't have to go that far to find water. It's only a couple hundred yards, so I camel up, fill up, and step up. Little hobbit land. So the sun's coming out now, and I'd like to get to this shelter and spread my stuff out and dry before anything else goes on. So I'll be our next stop and see if I can fix the charging situation with my phone. So no more platinum blazing. Talked to a few hikers and confided in some of my extended family members about budget, where money can be saved and skimmed, and LightHouse enlightened me. I was able to at least rationalize where money is spent and where it can be saved, and talk to NorthStar about saving and being more frugal. So no more private bunks. I'm gonna do the crew thing. If I have to resupply, try to keep it to a minimum Nero, and avoid any zeros if possible. It's hard when the weather's not cooperating, but there you have it, folks. It's another reason why you should be subscribing to this page. I need 1,000 subscribers before probably the end of July. I think that's when my budget gets concerning. So hey, if you like this video, if you've liked any of the other videos, please share it with a friend. Subscribe if you haven't already, and keep our journey alive as long as possible. I'd appreciate it. Members of mine, why ain't you subscribed yet? All right, welcome back to day whatever. I'm not sure what number it is. The only things that are dry are me, my base layers, and my sleeping bag. Everything else, and my electronics, everything else is pretty much wet. My socks and shoes are trying to dry out, but again, it's hard to beat waking up to sound of a waterfall and the sun rising behind it. So I'm gonna try to wait it out a little bit, or things dry out. It's 7:30 right now. It's gonna be 25 miles until I can get at least a little bit more resupply, and even further, it's like 50, something like that, till Narrows, Virginia, which is where I wanted to do a full resupply. So about 1 day's food left, and good 40 miles plus to go. Alright, talk to you guys soon. Here's the aftermath from yesterday. Shoes soaked still. Sleeping bag's a little damp because I was in a low spot. The condensation, bag soaked, socks soaked, tents soaked, drying out. Just wipe some things down, and sun's coming out, so trying to get dried out and then move on. Point man was just by. He said that a lot of the people that we were traveling with recently were staying at the same shelter. I was only like 3 or 4 miles away, so they're getting dried out, I'm sure, and then they're going to be right on trail along with me, and we're looking at, I think, a couple 20-mile days to get to Woods Hole Hostel is where I'd like to be by Sunday. It's supposed to get cold last time here, so we'll see. So the sun's getting a little higher. I am getting a little bit closer to leaving camp, but You know, I've really enjoyed camping here and was contemplating, you know, when I need to move on, whether things are dry enough, you know, and things have progressed to moving them around where things are sunny and warm and getting the most light. Point man stopped by today and we talked a little bit about our next resupply, and he said, man, that's a really nice spot. And I was thinking the same thing standing here and kind of shaking things out, and this picnic table is awesome. And I was like, wow, this is a great spot. And I looked at the placard here and it says, in memory of Sandy, the best hiking dog ever. Thanks for the journey. And for me, I think this, it makes this spot that much more special. So for Remington, thanks for the journey. I appreciate it, buddy. It's like 10 o'clock. Camp finally broke down. Thank you, Sandy, for the bench. You're the best hiking dog ever, I'm sure, in somebody's book. And, you know, I'm sure you had a great journey with your human. So I'm hiking in the name of Remington. It's my trail name. I'm on the trail in the water. Remington will love this. Me, not so much. As a matter of fact, that's why it took me so long to break down to camp, is I was avoiding putting on wet socks and shoes, which I inevitably did. And now we're on a wet trail, so let me get wet. All right, so we're going the right way. White blazes. Just want to make sure I double check camp, make sure I didn't forget anything. Got my sticks, got my head, got my socks and shoes, tent. Sorry, can't go too far without taking more videos of trailside waterfalls. We had a good rain last night. It did go down a little bit since this morning, but beautiful view. So even though things suck when it's wet, it's still beautiful. 5 steps out of camp. So much for having dry sneakers and like spending so much time trying to get dry. What the freak? Might be the only view for the day. Rolling hills, mountains. Trying to get a couple more miles in. So Trent's grocery is approximately 10 miles. Maybe a little bit less now, maybe like 8, because it was, I think it's at 610 and we hit the 600 mark a little bit ago. Anyways, I'm trying to get closer so I can get a meal in tomorrow. Right now I have my last meal in my backpack, and a protein bar, and that's pretty much it for tonight and tomorrow morning, until I get to Trent's. It opens at 8, I believe, or 7 or 8, and I can start at least get a meal there. I can do a little bit of resupply, but then I want to get to Woods Hole Hostel tomorrow, and that's still about 18 miles out even for tomorrow, so that'd be a long day. So I'm trying to shorten that day up too. All right, so it's pretty dark over there. I just heard my first rumble of thunder. It's 5:47. I guess I should start looking for camp. So came over to this campsite. It's the first one I've seen in a while, but it's trashed. And if it rains, I'm not so sure that the 2 streams that flank on other side are going to be trustworthy. So things are almost out of batteries. The GoPro's almost out. My phone's almost out. We're within 5 miles of Trent's grocery, I guess it is, and within probably 15 miles of Woods Hole Hostel. So if I don't have anything else on video, this is why, and I'll try to get caught up when I can. Talk to you guys soon. Make sure you guys tune in, tune out, tune up. Just tune something. Definitely subscribe. All right, found the winner. Looks like there's a root coming out over there, but somewhere in here, we're gonna end up having camp set up. So I'm gonna get to that. It's getting late. I'm gonna check right now with whatever battery life I have. 7:08. So I got about an hour and maybe an hour and a half sunlight or daylight at least. So until next time, guys, take care. Okay, good morning. Day whatever. Packed up for rain. Good news is my shoes are dried out and I'm wearing dry socks today. My raincoat, it really didn't dry out that much. I still feel like putting on something damp from the lifeguarding days. But anyways, this was my hangout for the last 8 hours or so. 10 maybe. I'm gonna get going. Again, everything's dying. Phone's on like red 10%, something like that. GoPro's about to die. No more battery from my battery bank. So I need to get to Trent's grocery. And then I have another, I think 11 miles, like I said, to Woods Hole Hostel. So hopefully get there, laundry, charge, shower, shave, and get back on trail after I dry out. This is supposed to be the weather all day today. It's not a downpour. It's kind of like sprinkle. It's foggy, but it's pretty much this all day is what I've been told, and I've kind of come to realize. Sorry, it's not wetting anything out really right now. I did take my rain jacket off because I was just sweating more than that was protecting me from rain. Doing my rain cover on my pack though, and one thing I did that I haven't done the last couple of days is I wrapped my phone in a Ziploc bag and I put my electronics box in a Ziploc bag, a gallon Ziploc bag. So that stuff's been getting some moisture and been challenging to keep it dry and working correctly. There's something else to think about while you're out on trail. Today my feet have stayed dry. About a quarter mile ago I stepped in a puddle and slid, or stepped over a puddle and then slid. Some water just got on my toe, and I was so mad. But we're not to the point where it's a free-for-all and you're just tramping through the water. I was thinking there's a certain percentage of your foot that has to be wet before you just don't care anymore. And I don't know if it's like 25%. Shoot, if it's 50, it's like, yeah, obviously, trample through the water. But there's a certain point, like, you try to keep your feet dry as much as possible, and then after a while, it's just like, obviously, it doesn't make a difference anymore, and you start stomping, puddle stomping. Not today yet, but soon, I think. This is where it's inevitable that at least 50% of your foot gets wet. The grass is soaked, even though it's not really raining. Out of the woods, into the field, toe box is slowly getting wet and more saturated. Oh, it sucks. Looks like fun. I think it's a suspension bridge. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, test your balance out a little bit. That's fun. Pretty cool. So I have a cup of rice left and some beef jerky. Other than that, I got to get to Trent's grocery to at least get through some snacks today. There's a blue blaze from his place, or that place, to a falls that connects to the trail, up the trail, so I'm going to take that. And then there's a potential blue blaze that I'm going to take that might cut off a couple miles getting to the hostel today. I really need to get my tent dried out, my sleeping bag dried out, a laundry done, and they also have a sick dinner apparently, so I want to make sure I get there for that. So it might seem a little out of the ways, but there's a method to the madness. Got to have some energy to get there regardless, and haven't had anything to eat today, so here we go. Our place of lunch. This is Trent's Grocery. Hunt Brothers Pizza. Well, I got to charge my phone, which I guess is the objective. But I was gonna hit a blue blaze from Trent's. They went to the waterfall and then connected back to the AT. And I was asking him about it, and he said there's no sense going up there because the water's too high to cross anyways. So, a little bit annoyed. Kind of not really out of the way, but had to get here to charge and grab some food. So I made it to the hostel. Had an awesome dinner. Met up with Lemon Drop and Baloo, of all people, who were doing trail magic a few days into my hike, and they were on one of my first videos, so I am hoping to catch up with them tomorrow morning during breakfast and get them on video. They're doing a work for stay here, and then they're going to be moving up trail later, so hope to introduce you to a couple other people and get you caught up to where I'm at and what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I can't download any video, so my card's going to be somewhat full here momentarily, so I'll have to check on that. So I'll catch you guys in the morning, end of day, whatever it is. Hiked through the water in the rain today and was happy that I got here because we just got a huge hailstorm, and the temperature's been dropping. So I'm considering what the price is for another stay. We'll see what the weather's doing tomorrow.